Okay, this field was just planted to crimson clover. This is a less than traditional, less orthodox planting method than how it's typically done. We're on 12-inch wide rows. This was no-till planted in, and it was planted green. We chemically terminated the ryegrass that was growing out here before yesterday, so it still thinks it's alive, but it's dead. And as long as we were able to get the seed down through the straw, which in hindsight, we've said we may have rethought the full straw load on this. As long as that seed got down underneath, which as we dig in the drill row out here, there is some seed, I'll see if I can find it there, that is mixed with the straw. But as I get down underneath here, there is also seed down in the soil underneath. One of the biggest problems I could see is poor seed soil contact. However, for a fall planting, we should have rains coming in. This straw should stay moist. I don't foresee it drying out hard, and there's good soil moisture underneath. We had, at the break of our drought here, about 2 to 3 inches of rain on the farm, and our soils have soaked most of that in, and it's laying under that straw load. Now we planted a little on a diagonal from how we normally plant because our GPS doesn't have accurate enough guidance to let us go in between our previous rows out here, and we were worried if we got lined up right on an old drill row that those openers would have a very difficult time cutting through that crown of the ryegrass and getting that seed down into the soil. Like I said, this is fairly unorthodox, it is untraditional. Most clovers in this area are all planted into tilled, worked fields. I don't know of much of anybody that's planted them green. This field inadvertently was planted green to ryegrass when it was planted in 2019 and came out of a red clover sod. Now this clover, this is crimson clover, it's an annual clover. We're putting it in as some sort of a hybrid in between a cash crop and a cover crop for us. If the stand looks good, if this works well, and the price stays good on crimson clover, we're going to leave it in and take it to seed. If the market is looking soft for it come spring, if we have any stand issues out here where it does not look like it's going to perform the way we need it to, we are going to look to plant either radish for seed or Phacelia for seed. We may look at some other spring planted crops, but this gives us the option so that if the crimson works, we'll stick with that. If it looks like it's going to work financially, we'll stick with that. If it doesn't look good, either financially or the stand just doesn't look like it's going to perform, we can shift over to a spring planted crop and go back to that. So it's keeping our options open. It's letting us be responsive to what conditions we get, soil moisture, weather conditions, how the stand looks, how much pest pressure we may have out here. We have had a fair amount of lice in this field in the past. We're going to be putting perches back up now that it's planted and try and keep the hawks working, and hopefully these barn cats will keep working out here. We're going to be keeping an eye on that, and as always a concern is slug pressure. With the drought this year, there should be a reduction in slug pressure out here. With this early planting date, we should have enough time to get the clover up and growing away from them, but slug pressure is always a concern, and so we're going to be keeping an eye on those pests as well. Anyway, that's one of our crazy experiments we're trying this year. We're going to see how it goes.